Perfect. All right. So it is Friday, August 8th, and Empower Life Group has been going through your course, Danelle. We just finished week 4 on Monday. Most of us have gotten the I Choose Joy book, and we're diligently filling it out. And I'm just going to start by saying it's a lot more work than I thought it was going to be. Um,
I hear that a lot.
But you know what? Like, I'm happy about that because for me, it's pushing me outside of comfort zones I didn't know that I had, and helping me to think about things differently and challenge myself in ways that I never thought about challenging myself before. And so I thought after the first 4 weeks of being immersed into your program that I'm so blessed to have you on here and to kind of like talk about checkpoints, like mentally where you think we should be at this point. Kind of sent you some things that I think agents in general typically struggle with in this business. So my plan, if it's okay with you, is just kind of give you the floor,
Yeah,
and I'm going to remove my spotlight and just kind of let you take it over. And
perfect.
are you comfortable with that?
Yeah, perfect. Perfect. And I
Okay.
want all of you, I mean, Dana, thank you for having me, for caring about your people enough to say, hey, could we have the real thing in here? Because there's one thing to see me on the screen, there's another to understand the behind the scenes of where it all came from. Why it's so important. So, number one, thank you, Dana, for reaching out and talking to me. She's persistent, which is great, which makes me come here with all of you, which is key number one in being successful in insurance. So, I want to start with all of you and just give you a little bit of background. Um, I am in insurance, just so you know. I also have a health insurance company. I do a lot of things. I built an entire training company with 5 of the top insurance agents in the nation. That was a training company where I did all of the personal development, a huge lot of the social media training, as well as some of the mastery sales training. So when I tell you I love this industry, I think I love the people in the industry the most, um, because they are the ones who are conquering themselves enough to serve other people. They really are. Sales is a self-esteem business. And I want you to understand that clearly. It is not anything other than, like, a lot of people talk to you about, all those things you want in life are on the other side of hard work, hustle, grind, struggle, overcoming. I don't live that lifestyle, just so you know. I am a hustler, but I do it a lot differently than most people, and I want to make winning a little bit simpler for you guys today. Does that sound okay? Okay. How many of you guys believe this, know this to be true, that sometimes we make things harder than they actually are? Usually it's that I am the problem, it's me situation. Okay. And we make it start. But how many of you guys for real also understand sales can be difficult? It's hard. It is a roller coaster for adults. Right? You guys know how, like, like when you were a kid, you could go on any roller coaster, you felt fine. It was amazing. You got off, you could do it 900 times. And then as an adult, you get on there, you think, I think I'm going to vomit what I ate 7 days ago because it's like out of control. As an adult, business is much like that as well. Like, why is this so difficult? Why do I get so emotional? Why am I mad? Why are people horrible? Why do I feel cheated half the time? Why am I a good person and this is harder for me? Why is that idiot who's dumb and a moron winning more than me? How many of you have had any of those same thoughts? Raise your hand. Okay, good to know I'm not a jerk alone, at least. I will be a jerk with all of you as well sometimes. Okay. So I don't want you to live there though. Okay? I want you to live in absolute assurance that you are incredible and you're going to make what you want to make. You're going to earn everything you need. You're going to provide for you, your family. You're going to travel the world if you want, or not if you don't. All of those things you have on your list, right? Okay, I want you to think for a baseline for just a moment, and everybody's going to be different. Every time I look at this, I want you to understand this training that you're doing. Okay, it's 52 weeks long. Some weeks you're going to do it, you're going to be like, that seems so simple, I'm going to skip it. Like Dana said, what is simple is usually more difficult than you think once you get into it. Okay? Simplicity is how you advance, not making things difficult. But I will tell you, there is a lot of science between what I am stacking week after week in these trainings. And the only thing you'll feel, okay, here's what I'm going to tell you. After the hundreds of thousands of people who have already taken this 52 weeks, I can tell you the people who played with it still won bigger. The people who leaned in and did it all out have completely transformed their life and their paychecks. Okay? So all I can tell you is those people who didn't get started in time or didn't take it seriously until like week 24, they hated it and they wanted to go back and start again. They were like, dang it, if I only would have known what this was building inside of me. Okay? I spent almost 20 years building this training to make it as simple as possible for people to understand why people win and why people don't. What has to happen inside of someone and their self-esteem, okay, um, for this to work. That's what I want you to understand. Okay. This stacking of all of these steps is what is going to make things much easier for you. How many of you guys wish you could just attract people and they'd say yes to you and it was much simpler? You didn't have to convince people every single day. You didn't have to feel manipulative and sales scripty and just feel like you're swindling a little bit sometimes. I think all marketing is a bit of manipulation. How many of you were just like, hey, I'm going to do great things for you. This is what I'd suggest for you. Let's go. Would that be an easier day? Yes, where is that course? That is this course, just so you know. Okay? It's everything that you are doing. And I'm going to tell you this because right now I have so much business in my inbox. I have to hire more people to sort it for me for what I have time to do and what I don't. Okay? So, good. Nathan, Steve, all of you guys, Tim, everybody who's like, oh my gosh, how do I get this? You're in it. Okay. You've been given a huge gift from Dana, which is amazing. And I want to be able to just talk it out with you guys today. I do have a little bit of training for you, but I also want to be open to like real Q&A. Like, Danelle, don't just talk at us, answer our questions, and this is what I'm challenged with. Okay. So, number one, I think the secret to life. How many of you guys have lived your whole life wanting to know it? Okay. The secret to life, the secret to winning, the secret to earning. This is the difference. I believe it is living your potential, and most people just spend their life searching for it. They're always on a mission to find it. Okay. If you want to live it, here's what you have to understand. Anything that is broken in you and not secure, not 100% confident, not 100% servant-hearted, not 100% remarkable, is costing you dollars. Okay? My goal in this life is to help those who are willing to do the work earn so much they give like crazy. Okay? How many of you guys want to be in the tax bracket where you have to give a lot away or else you lose? Okay? That's the PS, that's the fun tax bracket that they don't talk about so much. But there's a lot of people doing it. Okay? I'm famous for helping people become millionaires, and I want you to understand it's actually quite simple. Okay? I want you to think about it. Let's just say your product over the year, you're paid in residuals $1,000. Okay? From one closing. Okay? $100. How many of you guys know that's not ridiculous? You absolutely could. Okay? Great. So your only job is then to reach out and find 1,000 people to say yes to you, and you are net profit $1 million. That makes sense? I want you to just understand math for a second. People make it really difficult. $1,000 from any one thing you sell, and you find 1,000 of those, and you have $1 million net profit. Now, how many of you guys are sitting and you have debt right now, and you're like, your math makes me mad? It seems so simple when you say it like that. Okay? I want you to understand when I stopped making life difficult and I started making life about math, facts over feelings, because I am a feeling person. I'm a girl. Let's be honest, I have some of those. Okay. But when I control them, there's absolute millions and millions of dollars sitting there for anyone who wants to do this work and just become a master of your craft. Okay. I want to help you guys with this and understand that 52 weeks understanding how people is a science. Okay. Everywhere I go, I literally was just, we're doing this big tech investment. I shouldn't have even been in the room, just so you know, of this huge tech investment. I had an opportunity to invest in this thing that is like wildly beyond. I don't even understand what these people are talking about, but I understand the money that can be made there. Like I'm that dumb human in a tech room. Okay. No idea about tech, but what they're doing with data centers and all these kinds of things. Anyway, I ended up in the room because 6 or 7 people all mentioned my name when they said what they wanted to happen from all different industries. My name came up, I got invited into the room, and there's a huge amount of opportunity for me. I want this for you. I want you to be in rooms where your name is spoken about, where you're talked about because of how you handle people, what you bring to the table. Okay. So I want you to understand this is for you today. Okay. How many of you guys generate your own leads? Raise your hand. Okay. And how many of you guys you have purchased leads or somebody purchases them for you? Okay. A little bit of both. Okay, great. How many of you understand both make money? How many of you guys understand that, like, are you guys all life insurance? Is that right, Dana? Or just are all insurance?
Mostly simplified life. Yeah. So mostly final expense, actually.
Okay, great. Fantastic. And how many of you guys think it is absolutely imperative for all human beings to have this? Raise your hands. Okay. So everyone should say yes to you. Is that right? But how many of you guys, people still say no to you? It's annoying, isn't it? You're like, I'm here to help you. You're the one who's gonna lose. Okay? Now I want to help you adjust how you put yourself out there, right? So if people are, yeah, you ask for my help, but then you don't take it. I am confused, right? It's just like every single day. It's every single business. It's just like your kid, right? They're asking for help. Help me do this. Help me figure this out. And then they do the exact opposite of what you've told them to do. And you're like, you asked me for my help. Listen. Listen close, okay? So let me ask you this question. Why do you think people say no to you? Drop that in the comments. Why would they say no to what you have to offer? If it is, in fact, in the best interest of them, why would they say no? Okay. Fear, trust. Let's break those down a little bit farther. What are they afraid of? Okay. Why would they not trust you? What is uncertain? Death and taxes, very certain. Okay, keep going. You're digging. They're afraid of being scammed over the phone. Timothy, have you ever said that line on there? Right? Just spoken about the elephant. I know most people are concerned with being scammed over the phone by crazy, but I'm not in Abu Dhabi. I'm in Denver. Right? Like, have you ever just had elephant-sized conversations with people? I love saying the elephant because it gets all the weird stuff out of the way. Okay? You did not make them comfortable. Okay? That's honest. People are afraid of getting taken advantage of. Okay? Delivery isn't as confident as it should be. Okay, listen. So it sounds like all of the no's are not, in fact, about them, they're about you. Because if you could make someone comfortable, assured that there was nothing to be afraid of, that they should only be afraid if they don't have it, which is in truth. Okay. If you're delivering the information and helping people feel like you are their best friend within a 6-minute conversation, don't you feel you'd get yeses? Let's get rid of your awkwardness. Let's get rid of your sales scripts. Let's get rid of you being weird and have you help people. Okay. So I want you to imagine for a second, you're talking to your best friend's mom about life insurance. Okay? Your best friend's mom. Would you ever let her out of the room and not buy from you? Probably not. Not if you cared about her, right? Not if you cared about your best friend and everything being taken care of. Now, when you answer the phone, do you have the same care for the people you talk to on the phone? Do you have the same few questions to ask them to find out what's important to them and sell what's important to them rather than what you think you're selling? Okay? So here's what I'm going to tell you. Okay? I'm going to give you these 4 steps that I think will help you, and then we're going to talk real conversations. Okay? Because the truth is, you really only have 1,000 phone calls that you need to get a yes from this year, and you'll be in a completely different state. I just want you to understand that. Now, on this call, I'm guessing I'm going to look at everybody and how they pay attention to me, and maybe I'll guess the name by the end of who's going to do it in 90 days. Because that's possible too, just so you know. Okay, I'm more of I like to do things quickly so I can vacation faster type human. I don't know about you guys. I go on vacation every 90 days. Like my entire internet feed is full of people, adults, grown adults, asking if I would adopt them because they like my lifestyle. I'm like, well, or you could do what I teach you and you could do it for your selfie and not have to hang with my family. Okay, so I want you to understand this. Someone on here is going to take all this information and run with it and create it quickly because they understand it's not about emotional conversations. Okay. Who you are and how good you are doesn't equate to how many people say yes and how many people say no. It's how many are you going to do no matter what, right? I think all of us, I'm looking at your age groups. There isn't anybody too super young. There's a couple. Congratulations to you. But most of us are in this generation that we were raised to know our value and our worth by what we achieve. It's annoying, correct? But how many of you are like, you're honored and praised when you do well, you're kind of beat up a little bit when you don't? We have this achievement mentality that we're only worth something when we achieved. Can I be your second mom? Crap. Yeah, Grant, I saw you. You looked young. I was like, damn it. Okay. Uh, okay. But the rest of you who are a normal age group, just kidding. Okay. I do want you to understand you can turn this thing around immediately when you fix these couple of things I'm going to talk to you about. Okay. Number one is this. The number one thing I wish everybody knew is they have to train their brain to win. Okay. Now, in order to do that, that is why you have the 52-week training. 1 year from now, you will be in a completely different space if you do it. This is a leadership training. It is not a baby training. I'm direct. I'm focused. I tell you what to do. I literally am like, how could I make it so simple for people? And one of my mentors was like, Danelle, do what you do for everybody. You just tell them what to do. Go tell them what to do. I was like, oh, right. Velvet hammer time. Do this. Okay. The book that Dana held up, right? I Choose Joy. I do it every single day. I have every year since it's been created. And I did before that when I was overcoming cancer and divorce and building a business on the side and had 3 tiny kids that I had to take care of and everybody telling me I was a moron and what was I doing in sales and this is crazy. Okay. But here's what I know. That first book, you know what that was to do? That was to sort people who I would say yes to help and who I wouldn't. If they wouldn't do 10 things they were grateful for every single day, if they wouldn't write down their goals every single day, if they wouldn't read 30 minutes to 1 hour a day and write down one takeaway, and if they wouldn't let go of whatever crap they were holding on to every single day for 90 days, I knew that they would never do my training and they would make me look bad. If they couldn't accomplish that, dude, why go to week 2? The first step is training your brain to win. The 4 parts of your brain that need to believe can be fixed with doing I Choose Joy every day. I just made it simple. I made it simple. You want to see opportunity rather than challenges. You want to cure depression. Gratitude is the thing. That's it. It's science. You can either take medication or you can write gratitude. I prefer gratitude. It's cheaper and better for you in the long run. Okay? Now, If you have no side effects, right? I don't want to be the one with the sixth toe. Gross. You never know what all those medications do. Okay, now I do understand there is a very real epidemic out there and people need help, but I will tell you, I was poor in the beginning and I opted for the free solution. Okay. I am more of a freemium type human. Not anymore. Okay. They don't make sandals for that. I love this group. You guys are my sense of humor. I can be totally inappropriate. No one's offended. This is the right group. Okay. So I just want you to understand this. Okay. Gratitude is the antidote to most things emotional. If you have trouble with anger, frustration, hatred, sadness, depression, gratitude is the antidote. Okay? Absolute antidote. You guys are funny. Okay? That's the start. But do you know how many people I tell to do it and they can't do it? So guess what? Then they're like, I want to be one of your millionaires. I was like, cool. Gratitude. You start with the book, you do that, then I can help you. Show me you can be a person who disciplines themselves and trains their brain to win. Because I know if you don't do those habits, you're going to try and overcome life and hard things with your own guts. Like, how are you going to win? Just because I'm strong. Well, I don't care how strong you are. If you can't do those 4 steps, you are not strong. You are going to be a product of your emotions. Okay. So, step number 1, train your brain to win. Do you want it to see opportunity rather than problems? Do you want it to see ways to make your goals come to fruition? Well, it won't if you don't write them down every day. Do you want to learn every single day a new way to win? Because the more books I read, the more podcasts I listened to, the more good information and mentors I listened to, there wasn't room for liars in my brain anymore. There wasn't room for doubt. There wasn't room for hate. You guys, I started my business on the internet in 2014. What do you think was happening? I mean, people were so inappropriate on the internet. I was doing live videos before it was cool to do live videos, before there was like influencers who did all the funny things with their hands and just showed their boobs all day. I didn't influence that way. Okay. I influenced with my brain. There was a lot of opinions, there was a lot of judgments. Okay. But I will tell you, what I was building every single day was the belief in myself. Listen, I'm here for good. I know where I'm headed. I'm only going to do things that get me closer to my goals. I'm going to let go of all the things that shouldn't bother me. Most people spend their whole life hating somebody for saying something bad about them that's stuck in their brain than actually going to do something to prove it otherwise. Okay? So I want you to understand you need 1,000 people to completely transform everything in your life. Everything in your life. Your house, your finances, your fun, your emotions, 1,000. Now, for me, I would look at that and I would go straight to my calculator because I like math more than feelings. People are like, yeah, that's a lot of people. I go, not really. I'm going to show you how to do that. 1,000 people divided by 90 days. You need 11 yeses a day. 11. How many of you guys have ever had an 11 yes day? How many of you guys have ever sold 11 in a day? Just raise your hand. I want to see. Not yet? No one. Well, this could be fun. Sydney, 10. Great. We're going to take her up by 1 and make her a millionaire. This sounds fun. Okay. 4 is the most. Fantastic. How many of you guys like knowing a metric? Yeah. Okay. Now, this was for the superhuman. Maybe Sydney's it. Maybe Sydney wants to do it in 90 days. Let's just try this one. 1,000 divided by 365. You guys see, I don't do smart people math. I do dumb people math, and it still works. You need 2.7 a day to do it in a year. How many of you guys are okay if it took you a year versus 90 days? Okay, what I'm not okay with is it taking you 2 years. That's just a commitment to be lazy. That's silly. That's doing nothing on days that are hard. Okay, days that are hard. I'm going to tell you, okay, divorce. I've had cancer 3 times. I had 3 kids. They're now older. I'm taking my first to Rome next week to go to college for 4 years, play on a volleyball scholarship. My son's getting recruited for basketball. My daughter at 17, her twin brother, okay, her twin sister, is already living her dream in the movies. Okay. I created superhumans. How many of you guys want everyone around you to become superhumans, not just you? Okay. How many of you guys have people around you who are not superhumans, but are quite annoying and maybe loserish? Okay. Here's what I'm going to tell you. You are the problem. It's you. I don't have anyone around me who's not superhuman. Okay. Not one, because everything's contagious and what we do multiplies, good or bad. So here we go. This is the goal. 1,000 for everyone on this call. Okay. In 365 days or less. That means 2.7 or less a day. Now let's say how many, there's 52 weeks. I'm going to do it like this because some people don't like to work every day, and that's true. And you should have some time off. So you need 19 people a week divided by 5. You need 3.8 a day. So around 4 a day, 5 days a week is your math problem. Did you guys see that? I did the math for you. You're welcome. I know you're all very capable, but I want to be as clear as I possibly can for what it will take. Number one, in order for you to build $1 million, now this is probably residual, depends on your payouts, okay, and those kinds of things, but just in general numbers, 1,000 of them a year is $1 million to you. 3 to 4 people a day, 5 days a week, simplicity. Okay, this builds you an entirely different life. 11 a day if you'd like to do it in 90 days, or if you do it in 6 months, you guys understand the math. Okay, so I want you to think about what would happen for you. Okay, everybody right now in the comments, I want you to write down one thing you do if you had $1 million a year. One thing you do differently. What's the first thing you do? Type it in the chat. You travel more. Where would you go? What would you do for your parents? I want you to be specific. Spend more time with your family. Tori, what would you do with them? Okay, Kimberly, once you got out of debt, what would you do after that? I love it. Okay. I want you to think specifics. Where to? What would you do? I think most people don't achieve their dreams because they leave them as generalities, not as specifics. I want to do better. That doesn't mean anything. I want to take my family to Disney World by December 24th, 2025 is a goal. Does that make sense? I want you to make your dreams specific, like a goal. Okay? I want a housekeeper. Oh my gosh, Susanna's worked for me and her whole team for 7 years. I couldn't live without my Susanna. It's been amazing. I think I provide for all her family as well. Angela, what date do you want this done by? Come on now. Your whole life changes when you don't ever have to touch a toilet, a sink, or a trash can again. I mean, it's amazing. Okay? Take a trip to Tokyo with my girlfriend for her birthday, April 2026. Sterling, that is a goal. Okay? Now, in order to do that, you set your goal. Do you want 2 a day, 4 a day, 5 a day, 11 a day, 5 days a week? What are you going to do? Okay? Now, you all are getting specifics in there. I love it. Okay? Now, I want you to imagine for a minute whoever you were going to serve, whatever you were going to do, walking up to them at the end of this year or by that date and telling them, God, you just weren't worth it enough for me to believe in myself enough to get 1,000 yeses. I just didn't care about you enough. Even all those things you did for me. Nope. I decided to hang out with my own lack of self-worth every day and go, oh, this is hard. Everybody doesn't make it. There's not enough people. You guys, there's billions of people in the world. And here's what I'm going to tell you. Competition is slim. The difference between those who do and those who think about doing is like very small. It takes not much to win in this life. I will tell you, when I finally got in with the big wigs and I was circling with the wealthiest people in the world and I was on Richard Branson's private island and we were stirring up ways to give back to the world and doing this, I was like, why am I here? how did I get here? I do not feel that exceptional. It's as simple as this. I trained my brain to win and I finished what I started. That's it. I finished what I started. I decided to get good at making phone calls. Decided to make so many phone calls that I couldn't create a bad one. Why would I not help people? It's just sorting. So I want you to understand this training the brain to win is that gratitude journal. I suggest you do it daily and never stop. I suggest it goes in your suitcase and makes your suitcase overweight and you have to pay $75 more for it or carry it on the whole flight. It's super annoying. I know it's large. I want it to be annoying because that is the weight of either your excuses or your wins. That's how much. That's how much. People are like, can't you make this digital? Some people are like, I copied it and I just take the few with me to go on vacation. I'm like, you're missing the whole damn point. The point is that it's hard. The point is that it's annoyingly hard to do something so simple, you win. It's what people won't do. People won't do it every single day. So instead, guess what? Their emotions get the best of them. They'll call Dana and be like, I just can't. Everybody says no to me. These leads suck. Right? Dana, ever had anyone do that to you? I don't know. Maybe you're
No,
not.
never. Not in this way.
Never,
Never.
never. Your team's just exceptional. Nobody complains over here. Okay. I'm like, what? Leads suck. There's people everywhere. Everyone I should know. I should be creating a movement of my own on how to go do it. Okay. Step number one, train that brain. Step number two, I want you to understand the problem you solve and the audience it serves the best and be there brilliantly every day. That's it. Okay. What's the problem you solve and who needs it? And I want you to be there every single day. That means in person. That means online. That means at meetings. That means in meetup groups. That means at speaking events. Every single one of you, you'll get this in the 52 weeks. Okay. You should be at the microphone. You should be sharing it everywhere. Well, my friends don't want to see this on my social media page. Well, then they're not your friends. Do they have life insurance yet? Okay. If they've bought, they get an opinion. If they haven't, they don't. I want you, yeah, like I tell people this all the time. I was like, people should know you on sale, right? Like, what's for sale? I'm selling every day. In the beginning, it used to hurt my feelings. People were like, watch out, she'll sell you something. I'd be like, man, the only reason I wouldn't is if I didn't like you. And then people were like, oh, she hasn't sold to me. I'm like, touche. I don't like you. Okay. And I want you to think about this. You got to get a little more gusto. So here's what I had to understand. I had to write down all the things that I solved. I want you to write so clearly the problems that you solve. I think about three of my dearest friends. Three of my dearest friends in the last 4 months lost their husbands randomly. One brain cancer, one was walking across a crosswalk and was hit by a car, and another one was another kind of cancer. They are all my age or younger. One of them had life insurance that saved her life. The other two did not. Why didn't you guys call them? Just wondering, right? Why didn't you call them? Why didn't you get to know more people? Why isn't your social media so big and so clear and so heartfelt and such a movement that people would know to call you? Right? I'm sure all of you on here have had someone close to you have an experience to where they didn't have what you're selling and it hurt their family and you felt terrible. Okay, so don't let it happen again. Understand the problem you solve, the audience that serves best, and be there. I just call this be great or be quiet. You'll get to this in one of the rules. Okay? You're either going to be the best at what you do and care for people, or you're not. That's a personal choice. For me, okay, I didn't ever want to sell something I didn't believe in. You're selling something that people need and they don't know enough about. Just like people are like, oh, I have full coverage on my auto. How many of you guys understand full coverage? If you know anything about insurance, is not full coverage, by the way, at all. It's just a title. It's just a name. It's just like calling it, hi, this is cheaply what you should at least have, but probably isn't going to cover what you need insurance, is what they should have titled that. Okay. But people don't know that. It's a title. People are dumb about insurance and they don't know. Okay. When you fall in love with what you're selling and you actually care about it, people fall in love with you more. They don't fall in love with people who are wishy-washy. They don't trust people that are kind of. They don't trust people that are salespeople. Like, love what you do. Talk to people. Use their first name. Hey, Sheila, I know we've just met. But listen, I just got off a training that really put me in my place and helped me to know that if I didn't help you fully understand what you're saying yes or no to, I would be doing you a disservice. Would you give me a chance to be of full service to you today and explain to you how I could help? I don't know that somebody would say no to that. I think they would find it refreshing. I think sometimes our own lack of commitment to what we sell is why people can't hear from us, learn from us, or do those things. Okay. I will tell you, you should be on social media at least 30 minutes a day. Now, what a lot of people do is they put it on their, how many of you guys are on and active on social media with your business? Raise your hand. What? I feel like I should smack you all. Are you serious? Wait, raise your hand if you wanted to make $1 million again. Oh, I was just making sure I was in the right room. So you do want to make $1 million, and where all the people are for free, you're deciding to not participate. So you're praying for something, God gives you an answer, and you're like, no, thank you. That's an interesting statement. I don't like social media. I don't like what it's about. Do you want to win? Do you want more people? Now, you don't have to. I understand some people have religious reasons or personal reasons or just political or whatever. Okay, I understand if that's you. Great. Then how do you go put yourself in a room of 1,000 people at a time to see you? You can do that too. Because see, I do it both. I do it on foot and online. I met Dana on foot. I traveled from a movie set with my daughter in the middle of the night. I flew to Dallas, somewhere in there. It was Dallas, right? I can't remember. Yes, I flew to Dallas. I got stuck in tornadoes and floods and everything else I was in Texas. And then I went back to my daughter. I was there for like 12 hours and crushed it. And then we stayed connected on social media. Make it easy for people to do business with you. Let them find you everywhere. God, you popped up in my feed again. Shocking. I believe in what I do. I'm selling everyone everywhere, everywhere I go because I care about doing this for my life. Okay. So I'm just going to tell you, be great or be quiet. You can do it on foot. You can do it online. I will tell you what you do on foot multiplies online. If you're not doing it on foot and you're just trying to do it online, you'll have a hard time there too. So I will tell you the mix is the money. Okay? For sure. The mix is the money. Okay, that's step number 2. Understand the problem you solve, find the audience that serves it best, and be there all the time. Okay? Like, be more afraid of hurting those you love and yourself than you are of selling someone you don't know. I always laugh at how people are so afraid of what people think of them or all these kinds of things. I'm like, you're hurting your family. You're okay hurting your family and not selling to Janice, who doesn't know you from anyone. That's weird, right? Help strangers love you. Okay. Number 3. Now you've all set a goal with me to write 1,000. Correct? Everyone on here, okay to go get 1,000? If it's a year, if it's 90 days, if it's not, okay, almost everyone hands. I see you. That is your goal. So number 3 is this. Do not stop, pause, or reevaluate until you cross this finish line. Okay? You're not allowed to doubt yourself. You're not allowed to get out. You're not allowed to complain. Steve, you know me well, 1,001. That's an actual good goal because our brain doesn't remember zeros. I like it. Okay? So I want you to think about this. You are not allowed to stop until you make your first million. Okay? 1,000 lives changed, and then you get to adjust. Now, for me, you can do it fast, you can do it slow, or you can do it whatever pace you're comfortable with because there is the movement of self-care, da 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 da. I have no problem self-caring. I also only work a few hours a day. So that is my choice. Okay? I will tell you, you have one goal to hit. You decide your days, you decide how many you're selling, and in between then you have an absolute commitment to not stop or reevaluate anything until you hit it. Now, in this time of 1,000, guess what's going to happen? You're going to stop stopping, which is where most people ruin their entire life, is they are in and out and they stop occasionally and they do things all the time inconsistently. You're going to stop stopping and you're going to start knowing what a finish line feels like. You're going to get better at language, communication, phone calls. You're going to not be afraid to make the call. You're going to be afraid to get off the call without closing. Everything will transition in that number of calls. And this 1,000, I'm going to give you a huge life gift. You will never again believe you can't do something if you win once big enough. That's it. You will never lose at anything if you win at one thing really well, where you had to become the human who could do it. That is the whole goal of rule number 1. Become the one your results require. You guys, it was hilarious. I won in sales. I learned how to do it. I won in building online business. I learned how to do it. I won in building events. I won in insurance. I won in automotive. I won in every industry I get into. Then I was like, hey, I'm going to conquer my health. Then I went in and I conquered my health. And then I moved to the next one. Guess what? I won in parenting and all of these things. Because once you see that you're capable of, with just more effort than the average human, just knowing your numbers every single day, knowing where your audience is, training your brain to go do it, you do it. And what's funny is it's contagious. My kids do it. They're the leaders of all of their classrooms, their school functions, their sports teams, their friend groups. And so are all of my friends. You can't hang around somebody who chooses greatness and choose anything less. I know Dana chooses it. That's why we hang out. That's why we're friends. That's why we connected in person. Light recognizes the light in another, so that you're around it every single day. Sydney, I see it. It's Sydney, right? Look at how she's looking. She looks like a multimillionaire on the screen because of how she sits. Some of you guys look constipated and frustrated. How's your face look? You guys got to know that people buy from smilers, even if they can't see your face. Does that make sense? Your energy is felt before you say a word. Jump around the house, do some push-ups, make some phone calls, have a good time. The other thing is this, okay? Number 4 is this. Congruence is the key, okay? You must do all things in your life in congruence with who you actually are. Okay, people will call me all the time and go, should I be doing this? And I go, that you're asking me the question you already know the answer to. Okay? What is congruent with you? Is halfway making phone calls, doing kind of what you need to do congruent with you? Or is going all the way? Is selling this what you absolutely believe in and are fighting for? Do this. Right? People tell me this all the time with their habits and stuff, and they're like, well, I have fun, but I drink a little. I'm like, do you drink a little or do you drink a lot? Is that congruent with who you are? Why do you feel bad in the morning is because it's incongruent and it's screwing up all that you are. I'm not saying, I'm just using that as an example. Okay? I'm not calling anyone out. I'm just saying, hey, if the shoe makes you uncomfortable, take it off. Okay? This is what I had to listen to. It wasn't doing what everybody else was doing. It was doing what was congruent with me. I had mentors tell me, Danelle, you are such a gift in this world. When you speak, you're making millions. You're doing all this. Hire a nanny. One of my biggest mentors, who all of you probably know, and I won't say his name. Danelle, you have to get a nanny. You cannot do all of this. He hung up on me 3 or 4 times because I refused to get a nanny. Why did I refuse to get a nanny? Well, I did business so I could be home with my kids and raise them. I don't want a nanny. I don't want someone else raising my kids. If somebody else wants a nanny, they can have a nanny. Well, all people in your position have a nanny. Good for them. It's incongruent with me. I want to do it. I want to be the one that they call. I want to be the one teaching them my boundaries and things. So I want you to think about that with you. What are you doing right now that is incongruent with who you are, what you stand for, and that you wouldn't want live in public on the internet? I just want you to think for a moment because those little things inside of us that are dark, I've seen them steal people's businesses and abilities. Okay? I want you guys to win, and I want you to understand if you were to take 4 hours a day and make the phone calls at the capacity of believing in yourself that you should, when you train your brain, when you know people need it, and you are there to serve them, when you won't stop and you keep going and you're living life congruent to who you are. I know that in a few hours a day, you could hit the numbers we're talking about, and in 1 year or 90 days be in a completely different place. And those 4 steps also eliminate the things that could take you out. Your own mental thought. Can I not? You guys, I have met idiots who are super rich. I'm like, how on earth did they do it? It was just focus. It was just eliminating distractions. What else do you, how many of you guys work from your house? Raise your hand. How many of you guys find yourself like doing dishes and laundry randomly in the middle of like things, or you walk by, or you do little things, or you're distracted? No, you guys are great. Okay. I want you to think about any of these things. How many of you are distracted by text messages or phone calls or social media? Or you're helping somebody else. Listen, I want you to set a timeline and for you to hit the number you need to hit every single day before you take one thing that is on somebody else's agenda. I think a lot of this world we were taught, um, help enough people get what they want, you'll get what you want. I'm going to slap you around a little bit and say it's the Southwest method. Put your oxygen mask on first. Win, earn, finish, and then serve all those other people, right? I know you all have good hearts and you want to save all your families, but if you are not unbelievably wealthy, which you can be in this industry, you can't help anyone but yourself, no matter how much you want to serve. Win first. Follow the steps. These 52 weeks make you a human that people can't live without. They make you a human that people want to do life and business with. They will increase your odds of winning. This is some major self-introspection because most people won't look at themselves closely enough and say, hey, what should I fix? Okay, I think most people make business really hard. They make work really hard. Insurance agents all have this wrinkle right here from crinkling. I don't because I have Botox, but other than that, most people have it. Okay. They have it right here because they make life hard and calls are frustrating and all these things. I'm like, dude, I am not here to be frustrated. I am here to live an absolutely abundant, fun life. And if you do not bring me fun and abundance, we're not doing business here. We're not doing life here. We're not doing anything here. I'm tired of it being hard. It doesn't need to be. I had cancer, divorce, all these things before I was freaking 30 years old. No, thank you. The rest of my life is going to be healthy, fit, strong, and fun. And I'm going to make these phone calls going, I'm about to change your life today. Try answering the phone like that. Hi, Sherry. I'm about to change your life. No, I'm not a smooth talking salesperson, but here I am. Listen, I love what I do, and I love making sure that people are cared for right. Do you have 4 minutes for a conversation? Right? No, I don't. I know you do because you answered the phone, silly. Right? You were just thinking it was your next hot date. Well, listen, it's not. It's me, and I'm better than that. Let's have a conversation. I want you to understand people will love doing life with you if you love doing life with you. Are you making it a hard time or are you making it a great time? Okay, Dana, that's what I've got for you. Are there questions I can answer for you guys? Help you doing this? I want you to win so big. I want you to understand it's a numbers game, but it's a people business. And the more you fall in love with this and your commitments, the easier it is, the better it gets, the bigger deals you gain, and the faster you go. But you do have to get your first 1,000 in to understand you really got all the keys in life. You really do. You really got everything going for you. Hi, Dana.
That was so good. Thank you so much. I mean, how many of you could continue to just sit here the rest of the day and just listen to Danelle talk? not going to get us to our 1,000 clients, right?
That's
Um,
right.
so we definitely have work to do. We have people to help, but if you have questions, let's take maybe 10 minutes or so in an organized way. Raise your virtual hand, put it in the chat, and this is your opportunity, guys. This is your opportunity to ask anything that's on your mind, anything you need clarity on. The worst thing in the world for someone who's speaking to a group is to just be in front of a bunch of silent people. I'll tell you that.
I love it. Anything you guys need help getting over, I hope I conquered
Hands are
it. That's
going
why
up. All
I'm
right,
here.
let's start with Leanne.
Hi, Leanne.
Hi.
You were fun to watch too, like Sydney. You
Oh,
were wonderful.
well,
Yeah.
thank you.
Hmm.
My question is on goal setting.
Yeah.
So I have been every day on my goal, I write down that I want to do at least 250 calls
Okay.
because I can control that.
Okay.
And I feel like should probably include other things.
Yeah. So
And so
is
I
that
kind of want you to challenge me and
yeah.
tell me why I need to expand beyond
Yeah.
just.
So, you put it at 250 calls because that's something you can do. I want you to put it at something that actually changes your life. Hey, I want to close this many a day, right? Hey, I want to close this many this month because you set it as calls because you don't know how many will come from that. I want you to bet on how many are coming from that. So don't do it on the work, do it on the result. Your goal has to be the result that fires you up to go for it, that you couldn't sleep on, that you wake up and go after, right? How many yeses should 250 phone calls get you?
Three, 3 to 4
Three
should
to
be my
four.
goal. Yes, 3 to 4 is now my goal.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So I want you to rather than counting the phone calls, because 250 phone calls sounds depressing when I say it out loud, when if it means money to you and it means 1 million in a year, I'd make as many phone calls as it took. So don't do it on the work that's hard. You again are making it hard, the wrinkle thing, right? I want it if it feels hard, it must be working. That's the hustle and grind. I want you to be like, I'm going for 3 today. And if you focus on that, what if it's your first 3 and you'd be like, oh, I'm going to go get the next 3 for tomorrow, but you're thinking about the win, not the work.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yes.
Focus on the result you want, not the hard thing.
Okay.
Thank
Yeah.
All right, next up we have Timothy.
Hi, Timothy.
Hi. Wow, thank you so much. This is fantastic. I guess my question is more of a comment just on yeah, everything you said about shifting the mind or training the brain, because I feel like I'm normally a pretty positive person. I set goals and I'm able to, make the sacrifices necessary to achieve them.
Yeah.
But I'm finding it hard to in entering this industry. I'm trying to focus on all the wins, set small goals that I can accomplish. But when I see my bank account like
Yeah.
decreasing, like the money that I set aside for this, then
Yeah.
that worry and that those demons start creeping in. Like
Right.
maybe I need to shift and change or reevaluate what I'm actually
Yeah.
doing. So how can I hold on to that goal that I want to, and then the reality of funds going away, and you know what I
Yeah.
mean? How can
Yeah.
I fight
So,
that?
yeah, it's really easy to focus on the fear, right? Like, oh, I better do something else. I better divide my time and create something new. What I'd have you do is, you're right, you do have to make it make money right now. So what I would do is I'd get more creative on the how I could guarantee I get them. Right, you're a very confident human. You do seem even keel, like you're like perfect for this industry just from what I can see in your personality. And so I would have you be around as many top leaders as possible and asking them what to do. Do you use social media or no?
Not really, no. But I
Cool.
have it. Yeah, I mean, I started like a YouTube channel, but just for the
Yeah.
people in the previous industries to kind of like follow
Yeah.
along.
Yeah. What I would do, like people might even like enroll with you and be like, here, like, how new are you in the industry?
Uh, 2.5 weeks on the phones.
Oh, Well, welcome. Okay, so here's what I would do for you, and this is like something that's followed very much on TikTok or Facebook. And I would do like um, my first 2 weeks in the insurance industry. Here's where I'm winning. Here's where I'm losing. Or come with me as I show you how to earn $1 million over my next year in the insurance industry. Day one, $0. Day two, $0. I'm getting scared, but I'm going for it. Like people will start enrolling in your win. Then you could drop little tips and hacks and tricks and stuff like that. Like people follow along for a story. Your story is where your wealth lies. And so if you do something extraordinary, it always gets results. You're here, you want this to work. Insurance is the residual business game. I will tell you, my dearest friend who just lost her husband was in insurance. And because of her insurance business and all of the residuals is the only reason she didn't lose her house. She didn't do all these things. She's like, I am so grateful for this industry and everything. It's life-saving, but most people won't do the work up front to have it forever. You're doing the right thing. I would never step my foot out of insurance for sure, even all the other companies I have. And when you learn the sales process here, you'll be able to sell anything the rest of your life forever. So find more creative ways of how you can ensure the numbers come in instead of going, oh my gosh, I'm dwindling. Like give yourself a deadline. Like, hey, in the next 60 days, I'm earning this and I'm going to go get it. Right? You can see 3 a day makes you very wealthy in this industry. So set that as your goal. And I guarantee if you're focused on that and doing creative things to hit that, you'll hit it faster than the people who are focused on eventually our win or I have enough time and money. I had a mentor tell me a long time ago to live broke. And every time I made a lot of money, he made me invest it so that I stayed sharp. I stayed creative. I stayed hardworking because it's really easy to get fat and happy, like they say in the industry, where you make a lot and then you decide to just relax for a living. I invest, I push limits. I do those things so that I stay sharp and I keep getting creative. So even the training you guys are getting, we are turning it into a book. It's a little bit less. It doesn't have all the content in there. Because I'm always thinking of creative ways to get the message out there to move people forward. So you got to force yourself to focus on what you're doing and the finish lines you're crossing rather than, oh my gosh, fear, because it will take you out, you know. hmm And if you really have zero income, I'd go, what creatively could you do to make sure you have a base while you're doing this on the side, but still count on those 3 to 4? Does that make sense? Like, there's a million different ways to make tons of money, from home. Nothing that does residuals like this, but that's the thing that you want. Yeah.
Good question.
Cool.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, go get them. Welcome to the industry. And you landed on an incredible team, so well done.
All right, Sydney's up.
Hey.
Okay, Danelle, I'm so happy that you're here. We saw you at
Good.
8% and we
Yeah.
loved listening to you talk. But
Yeah.
my question for you is how, like, my biggest struggle is regulating my emotions in this industry. So, like, if I have a great week, I'm like, and then if I have a really bad week, I like can't sleep at night.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's my biggest problem here. So, what do you recommend or yeah, like, what do you
Yeah.
do?
What do you do for you that makes life fun outside of work?
I think that's my biggest issue. Like, I only
Just
work. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that'll kill you eventually, and it's also tied to your emotions and your like personal respect. So what you have to do is like you have to pick, here's the thing, forever, just so you know, no matter how wealthy you get, you're gonna have great weeks and terrible weeks. Right? Yeah, I'm like, if I were to read you my text messages, one would be like, thank you for saving my life. And another one would be like, I want a refund. I'm like, oh, right? Like, I'm like, oh my God, what is wrong with people? Right? It's the same information. So you can never allow anyone else or anything to choose your mood or emotion. It's how you want to do life. For you, I go, how do you want to live life? How do you want to do it? How do you want it to operate? And what is the daily like method of operation that you do to do great things? Like for me, my workouts, my sauna time, I have a pool, like here's the time with my kids. This stuff is my life breathing rhythm, and work comes in and around that, right? But you need to have something that chooses your emotions that isn't attached to what you achieve. It's attached to what you love, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Like think about if you always think about an athlete, like a professional athlete, if they were to put their worth and their joy on winning or losing, well, the odds is they win 1 out of 100 races in anything that they do. So they'd only be happy one day out of 9 years. That sucks. You have to go, hey, this is what I want my life to be about, and this is the thing. You celebrate the wins, you laugh at the losses, this too shall pass, and you celebrate the wins, right? So look at it more of like, this is probably why I do the 90-day grid and goals too, because I make everything about 90 days, not about a week at a time. So I celebrate in 90 days, and in that 90 days, I'll have had some really big wins and some really big losses, but I don't feel anything until I go celebrate the finish line because there's always a finish line. So it's probably going to be some things that you need to live through that are outside of work, and also making the end goal where your joy is, not your everyday, you know?
Okay. That's helpful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm guessing you're pretty hard on yourself. Um, that is a danger zone with entrepreneurs. Like people tell me all the time, like it's a badge of honor, I'm my own worst enemy. And I'm like, that's a terrible thing to be. Like, you should never be your enemy. Like everybody else is your enemy. Why would you be one? Right? And I want you to be like, I'm my biggest fan. Okay, I had a rough one. Here's how I can get it back. And that's what I think of all the time. Like if I beat myself up, I'll lose. I'm all I got. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So start cheering for yourself. Start setting a 90-day goal that you're going to hit. Know that you're going to have goods and bads, highs and lows, but find a way to cheer for you, that you didn't turn into a monster during the bad, that you um yeah, I literally have a text this morning from a woman who owned a massive brand in New York City. She's a VIP client. She sounds a lot like you. She's been working for like 7 years to sell this big company of hers. They finally got it done. It didn't happen the way that she'd love it to. Um, but she was like, that's it. I'm doing a VIP day with you. How are we correcting this? How are we going to make it all count? Like she's turning it into something remarkable. So, and that was like someone's life work. Sorry, it's trash day for my neighbor. Shh. Don't they know who they're interrupting? But you gotta think of like life is short, right? Everybody gets to be young, but not everybody gets to be old, unfortunately. And so if there's one day that would take you out that you wouldn't cause, like you're completely in charge of that, right? There should be no days off from having a good time. You are not your work, right? You are the people you love. You are the people you help. You are how you make people feel around you. Nobody around me, hold on. Hi. Nobody around you, like, I think about this all the time. Like, people look at my life, right? Successful, must be nice mentality that they have sometimes, right? Not really. Everybody knows I earned it, right? But they feel that way. And I can't be different if I've had a bad day, because I am their reason to rise. I am their story. I am their win. And so I can't let them know I had a bad day. So on my bad days, I just stopped talking about them and I just started having more good ones. And then nobody was affected except in a good way. And they're like, I just want your life. I hope they do. I hope they just win. Right? I still have the same problems. I mean, I get bigger battles at bigger numbers and stuff the greater you go. But Sydney, you are like beautiful, successful, winning, all of these things. The only thing that would take you out, I'm guessing, is you. And that just can't be a part of the game for you. Yeah. Go. You got everything going for you.
Thank you, Danelle. I'm gonna go cry
Yeah.
now. I appreciate it.
Good.
To make me
Good.
feel. All right.
I wish I would have known that when I was younger, right? I beat myself up and had weird battles and talked myself out of things and was like, why haven't I figured this out yet? But I don't think anyone, I don't even think billionaires have it figured out, just so you know. It's just the mood at which they handle how everything comes at them. That's what's different,
All
you
right,
know?
one more question.
Okay.
Chris Murphy, is that you with your hand up? Because I see you're in here twice. Okay, so I'm gonna spotlight you here and I'll unmute and then unmute from your other audio.
There we go. Can you hear
Hi,
me?
Chris. Yeah.
Hello. Thank you so much. This is amazing. And I love how real you are, that you're yourself. You don't put on some act and, try to be an actor. That's great to see, first of all. My question is, and I think you've kind of answered it by answering some of the other questions, but I'm curious if you can just add to it.
Yeah.
Besides being grateful for somebody that has had 1,000, wins
Yeah.
and lost themselves and
Mm.
went down a rabbit hole and was rock bottom, for
Yeah.
them to find themselves back in all the success that you've seen. What's the percentage of people that come back from being at the bottom? And like, besides being grateful, how can you get there when you already know and you compare so much to who you are now to who you were before?
Yeah. I feel your heart.
I know I got a little emotional talking about it. So
Good. No, here's what I tell you. This is what I have learned from someone who would ask a question like that. Um, is the bottom's your defining moment, and 100% of people come back from that. Because once you know the bottom, you know what you're capable of, right? Like I think I've probably hit 3 or 4 bottoms, just so you know. And every time I find out how to get up better than I did the last time, more capable. Um, it was usually my environment, people who were around me, that made me win or lose. And it was hard to say no to people and get them out of my circle and spend time with the right people. The start is that journal. It's gratitude every day. It's reading and having mentors that are filling you with truth and getting away from any of the other stuff. It's doing what you're capable. But I think sometimes you have to design a new dream, right? When you have to get back up, the end goal has to be different. Um, it has to be something that awakens you, right? I would say go somewhere where you feel invigorated and alive and spend 24 hours there thinking about what you could do, what you could create. I always say our best ideas come out to play, not to work. And I think sometimes people drown themselves in work because they think work is the answer. And I think my best ideas have come on a boat, on a yacht, in the ocean, sitting with my kids, dreaming. They haven't come from the pit, right? And so, as often as you can, one day a week, go somewhere that brings you to life, dream, think, get back up, and find an answer that's worth fighting for. I like people who are not overachievers don't ever find the bottom, just so you know. Like only the best people find the bottoms. And it's so that their tops can be remembered. It's so that they have stories that help other people. It's why people listen to my story so much. I had so many kicks in the teeth, man. They're like, God, I'm so sorry for you, right? Like, I got cancer, and the people closest to me told me that's what I get. That's what I get. Like, that's what you deserved. I was like, what? Who says that? Right? And those kinds of things made me become this human who called people to greatness. So, no matter what, the pit's for a reason too. It's telling you to examine something in your life that is incorrect, incongruent, get it the heck out and find out what you want and create it. It's one day at a time. We have this theory with my company. It's called No Zero Days. You'll see us in these t-shirts all the time. And it was how I saved my life, the health wise, and also business wise. My commitment to myself when I was gonna like lose it and not be able to provide for my kids, it was I had to make at least one sale a day, and I was gonna survive. So that was my no zero days commitment, and I did it one sale a day. And then when I wanted to save my health, it was sweat daily, every single day. Just every single day, I had to get to the gym and work out, even though I didn't want to. The heaviest weight's the door, right? Just get your butt in there and every day. So if you sweat daily and you make one sale daily, I guarantee there won't be a pit anymore. It was just, people think so big. It was a daily thing that saved my life, not an annual thing. It was too big in the pit to get out. Does that make sense?
It does. Thank you
Yeah.
very much. And
Yeah.
basically, Danielle just told me that I need to come hang out with you. So eventually I'm coming to California.
I love it, right? You got oh, she's correcting it. Danelle, I know my name is
Oh,
weird. You're
sorry,
so
Danelle.
sweet. No, it's a joke in a lot of my speeches because everybody doesn't know how to pronounce my name. Um, but that's right. Like surround yourself, watch their trainings, get in as many good things as possible. If you start feeling yourself going down, man, you have to fix it yourself, right? Listen to the podcast, listen to the video, get on a training, watch a replay. Like the secret to life is living your potential, not searching for it, right? Like understanding that today you are your potential. So live it today. Tomorrow, it'll be a little bit better. Then, right? Just, I think that's it. Like I'll close with this. The greatest pain I have ever felt is underachieving, is knowing I'm capable and not doing it. That'll be your greatest pain, not anything you think is coming otherwise. So just refuse to do that. Yeah. Yeah.
So
I
much.
love it. I'm glad I was here with you guys today. Dana, I love it. You guys, you're going to be tempted to slow down at 6 months in that training. You'll be like, oh, lean in. Like it's 15, 20 minutes a week, every single week for this year. I guarantee you, your sales, your families, your health, everything will thank you for doing this work. And you won't know how to lose anymore.
Wonderful. Well, I'm part of your Facebook group. Danelle does lives once a week, right? She sends
I
out
do.
emails, send questions.
Yep.
It's your choice, like it's your choice what you choose to involve yourself in, or if you choose to just be a passive observer, right?
Yep.
It's
Yep.
even with this community, every call that you can participate in, everything that you can immerse yourself in, be on Zoom with your cameras on. Like take advantage of everything that's being offered to you, everything that Danelle is offering to us, and go all in. Like for me, there's no other choice. You
Yep.
either go all in or why do it?
Yep. I love it. It looks like there's a lot of people who are battling their mind too. Dana, I am doing a little thing right now, just if this helps you. Because I see all these entrepreneurs, it drives me insane that they battle their mind. So I do have a 21-day video series of how to get rid of self-doubt forever. That's like me. I send a video every day for 21 days. If you guys want access to that, I can shoot you. There is a small fee for it, but I hate people battling the one thing that should come with ease, right? Is self-belief. So if that can help you guys, that's it. It's pretty simple. It's 21days.danelledelgado.com.
We appreciate you. Thank you so much
Okay.
for
You
joining us.
bet. Love y'all.
Stay back so we can close out. And thank you so much, Danelle.